Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Today I want to talk about the Astro cryptocurrency. And the first time I want to have a disclaimer. This content and presentation are not financial or investment advice. It is just for sharing information and for sharing knowledge. It could be 100% wrong or it could be 100% inconsequential. I'm also not certified in astrology or finance, so if you think this is not important, you can skip it. Next, in the astrology, we will have some symbols which represents the zodiac and also represents to the planets. And the zodiac, you can see there is from Aries, Taurus until the Pisces. And then for the planets, we use Sun, Moons, and Mercurius, Venus until the Pluto. And there is three additional planets like Chiron's lunar nodes and Lilith. So the astrology actually is a complex to understand because there are some combination or mixings between zodiacs or also between the planets, the transitions, is it the conjunctions or is it the oppositions or uh, the degree and many things, many aspects, many factors which can have a different meanings for the astrology. But with the market, I want to simplify uh, the the aspect, and I want to simplify the understanding about the zodiac and the planets astrology. So here is bullish zodiac like Aries, Taurus, Cancers, Leo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Pisces. That is bullish zodiac. And also there is a bearish zodiac like Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And there is some combinations between the planets like Sun and Venus. It is representing bullish, and when transitions Jupiter enter the Suns, it is a bullish. But also a bearish combinations like the transitions Saturnus to the Jupiters and Pluto to nodes, many things. So if you see the table on the planet, the Jupiter mostly bullish and the Saturn's dominance to bearish. Okay, so I want to explain about the correlations between the planet and the market and how the market responds based on the planet in the astrology. So we can start from the Mars. In the Mars, it can't trigger the volatility in the market, the green, the uptrend or the bullish, but it is a volatility. It can be up and down with not significance, but it can be a bull trap, but still a bull trap is representing bullish. And also there is a Jupiter. It can provide stability, growth, and prosperity to the markets. So Jupiter itself represent um, a strong bullish, strong uptrend market. Then we go to Sun. It signifies the markets and governs the markets in medium terms, like 1 month. So Sun actually represents the bullish or represent the uptrends, but not significance of volatility. And it can be long term green markets, not maybe there is a corrections, but not a big down, not big fear in the sun. Then we go to Saturnus. And the Saturnus, it introduced the fear factors in the markets. So when the Saturnus show in the astrology, it will bring you like uncertainty, it will bring bad news for the market and anything which can make the market dumb. And then we go to Mercury and Venus. This is they stabilize the market, but for the shorter period, let's say like 1 or 2 week or more or fortnight. Then we go to the Neptunes. The Neptunes represents to chaos and dissolutions of the market. It can be a crash market, it can be big down market, then many things which make the bloodbath for the market itself. Then we go to Uranus. It's responsible for innovation and strategy for the markets. Uranus usually represents like a recovery trend from a bearish seasons to the bullish seasons, or short-term recovery from a downtrend to the uptrend. It's kind of like a uptrend accumulation. It kind of a Satway, but Satway to a mini rally, something like that. And moon usually like a 2 days uptrend, 2 days rally, but not uh, big significant impact for the market. It's just a short, really short uptrend. And then we go to the Pluto is absurd change like fat fluctuations in the market. It's like a distraction for this Pluto. Pluto also represents a bearish. So Mars, Jupiter, Sun, it represents bullish. Saturnus, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Pluto, it represents Beeris, and also then there is Uranus and moons. It represents such way or accumulation, but it can be a positive market instead of negative. After that, we talk about the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin birth on 3rd January 2009 at 6 p.m. 15 minutes in GMT. So there is a two versions of birth Bitcoin. The first version is about Genesis block zero, that is the birth of a Bitcoin, but there is another version of birth of Bitcoin is the white paper. Then we try to link the birth of Bitcoins with the astrology. The Bitcoin and the white paper, it is in December 20, 2008, and in the position of astrology in the Saturn is Uranus, the oppositions. And for the Genesis block zero, it start from January 3rd in 2009. If we if we connect to the astrology, the Bitcoin will have the anticlimax on June 28th at year 2032. So this is the anticlimax of Bitcoin, and then the predictions Bitcoin will con by itself at 2041. So how we are right now, we are in the institutional investor, where some people or some community or some groups want to adopt a Bitcoin as the institutional investments. So we have reached like 96,000 US dollar for Bitcoin. This is the first sell off. So the first sell off is not on 2017, but the first sell off is on 2022. We are now in the bear trap. This red line is not representing about price. It can be representing about the adoption. It can be representing about a hype or trend of the Bitcoin itself. And then after bear trap, Bitcoin will go high and hype until the new paradigm. The new paradigm is that Bitcoin is already adopted by many people as humans in the world. Like maybe you can buy Coca-Cola with the Bitcoin, you can buy stock Apple with Bitcoin. So uh, the massive adoptions for the Bitcoins until 2032. Maybe the price can be fluctuative, not following this red line. If we following this red line, maybe Bitcoin will be like can be 1 million, 2 million US dollar per Bitcoin, but that is mind blowing. We don't know in the futures, but I think the Bitcoin this red this line means to the the interest of people to have a Bitcoin instead of the price itself. Next is about the table of astrology. So this is the table of astrology in the January to 2022. We can see the day from 1st January to 31st January, and this is uh, the table of planets, and this is the table of a conjunctions or positions or conditions of the planets. Like this is the conjunction with the pieces between Virgo to pieces. Not Virgo. This planet is. Let me check again. What is the symbol? Because we have to remember the symbols of the planet. It's like Mercury in Aquarius, something like that. Every position is every row, every table here has the meaning, but it can be too difficult for you to track this. So some people try to go for it in the chart. This is the example of chart, and then we can understand about you can easily to read the table based on this chart. So this is a birth chart the where you can see here this the center is the earth, and then each of part this cycle has a 30 degrees, and the rotations is the opposite of the clock. It is the opposite, the rotation from left to the right. Okay, by reading this, it's so complex. You have to remember many things. You have to remember the astrology part and the astrology rules, but then we can't make it very simple. We can go to astrology.com. We can open a calendar in January. It has a list of astrology from the first date of month to the last date of month. For the example, I took that January 20. It says that Mars in Taurus conjuncts with Uranus in Taurus. So if you don't know about this, you can search in Google about Uranus in Taurus or Mars in Taurus. But you can't use the table we have earlier, like the Mars and Taurus. You can use this table. You can search Taurus is a bullish, and then Mars is uptrend volatility. So that means that we will have uptrend volatility around 20 January, and so on. We can see here, but I have pay attention in January, which is at January 28th. In the January 28th, this is have a good news like full moon in Leo, but it has a bad news in the same day, like Venus in the Capricorn or Pluto in the Capricorn. As we can see that Pluto in Capricorn, like the big crash market into 2008. So if we switch back again here, the Capricorn itself is the bearish zodiac, and Uranus itself is like responsibility, innovation, and strategy of the market, and but the Pluto is like absurd change or wild fluctuations. So it's kind of like a wild fluctuation for the bearish. So we have to have so we need the anticipations at 28th January, but later we will have a timeline for that. And next is about in the February. So from 1st February to 15th February, I don't see any good aspect or good factor for bullies. But we can see a bullish sign the first time at February 16th, and until the 1st March, and on the 3rd March until 5 March is not good because we can see the Venus in Capricorns or Pluto in the Capricorns. As you can see in the beginning that Capricorns represents to bearish, and the Venus represents to destruction or something like that. So we have to be careful in the early of March, but we can have like art seasons or bullish party in the middle of February. Let's go back. Oh, sorry. Let's go back again to the table. Okay, and then we have a retrograde. So in 2022, we will have three times Mercury retrograde, which is the bad things. Mercury retrograde represents or describes about things gets messy, bad lucks, trouble come and go. So we can see that we have the first Mercury retrograde on 14th January to 4th February. So you can see right now blue bets any market, in every market, like in US market or in the cryptocurrency. And then the second Mercury retrograde is on 10 May to 3rd June, and the third Mercury retrograde is on 10 September to 2 October. But we have a good news here. After the wall disaster, after the wall dam, after the wall bearish, we finally have a bright market on Jupiter retrograde. In the Jupiter retrograde, start from 29 July until 24th November. So it can be bullish rally here. Also, the Pisces, it seems a bullish zodiac. And but we have to be careful because between July and November there is some retrograde from the Mercury, like September and October. And yes, on the September and October there is one retrograde here. We have to be careful. After that, Jupiter retrograde, we go back to a disaster like Venus retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Mars retrograde is more volatile up and downs in the between the October to the January. So next thing is the timeline in the January. In 16 January to 17 February, the position of the astrology based on the table on the PDF I have here. Let me share based on this table or this birth chart. I tried to simplify uh, in the timelines. So in the timeline January, we have Neptune opposing the Bitcoin setters, thirds, and final pass exactly on 10 February. So this is the last moment of a disaster or market dump. Theoretically, surprisers and represent a breakdown the market structures between 16 January and 17 February, as we have see right now. Nasdaq keep dumps, Bitcoin get dump, SP 500 gets dumps. Let's see more specific dates like 17 January to 18 January. The astrology is Cancer opposing Pluto and the opposing BTC Jupiter. That means a shell pressure start also can be happen from this date. Then we are going to 22 January, Mercury sextile to BTC moons. This market is trying to recovery, but selling pressure is still there. And in 23 January, Mercury conjuncts BTC Mercury, sell pressure still high and fight the recovery effort still weak. But in 24 January, Sun sextile BTC moons, this is the best moment to have mini pumps or reference the bearish, but the fear and uncertainty will be a blocker to recover. Then we see 25 January to 5 February, Pluto conjuncts BTC progressive suns. It means that the bearish situation for the market and could be fall deeper. It can be double bottom between 25 January and 5 February. So let's go to specific date on 26 and 29. This is not 26 from 29, but 26 and 29 January. Mars conjunct BTC Pluto. That means the powerful change for the uptrends, but direction is uncertain. It's like want to break the resistance, but can't break it up then go down again. And on 30 and 31st January, the Mars squares BTC Moons, Mars conjuncts BTC Mars. It's most likely the market will be stressed on these dates. So we have to be careful between 30, 31, and also the 1st February. It can be double bottoms or like max pains in the Bitcoin. So let's see in timeline Q1s, quartile ones, first quartile. In 21 and 26 January, Jupiter sextile BTC Mars, the possible uptrend, but bullish power is weak for the BTC. But on 3rd and 9th February, Mars sextiles Jupiter and trines Uranus. This means that the market is getting excited and moving up. Then in 17 and 28 February, so in from start from the middle February, Jupiter sextile Uranus and then sextile BTC Suns. There will be few corrections, but not significant. It's like a small dump, something like that. But the market is starting strong bullish and really fast. In 21, in 21st and 26 March, Jupiter conjuncts BTC Uranus. It continued bullish after the corrections between 1st and 20 March. Then we go to 1 and 10 April, Saturn conjuncts BTC Neptunes, highly pressures for the bearish change here, especially on 3rd until 5 April. Then we go to 2nd and 20 April, Uranus 3rd and final trines BTC Suns. This is actually the bullish trend for the Bitcoin, but overlaps with unfavorable Saturn's period. But it means that between the bullish period, there is a bearish pressure. There is a sell pressure, which is 3 and 5 April here in the between of 2 and 20 April. And in 5 and 10 May, Jupiter sextile by Jupiter. This is powerful and double really bullish. So we'll still have a bearish change until April, but between February and May, this is a bullish season. But sometimes in the middle of bullish, there is a dump, big dump, but not make a double bottom or lower low like we have in 1st February or last January letters. Yeah, this is the structures of Bitcoins. We have structures like big cup, inverted cups, and small inverted cup. Both uh, left cup and right cup, it has a target to $36,100 for the Bitcoin and $34,400 for the range. So the orange is the range of the closest bottom for the Bitcoin, but this is not the final bottoms because we can't see the final bottoms between this red area at the max pain. It can be max combo like 26,400 or it can be 30,700. So in this series, we can find the best entry or we can choose the alts. So when alt seasons, alt can going up drastically. Even in 1 month, it can go like 300%, 500%. So you have to be careful by choosing the alts for your entry. So I was trying to understand about what is the altcoin which have best performance within the last 3 months, which altcoin have best performance for 6 months. So we can see here the best performance is like FTMs and also like SANS. But yeah, you can choose whatever you have right now because when you got the bottom, the alt will going up drastically when it has changed for bullish. I think that's all what I have right now. Maybe it's useful for you. I hope you enjoy the presentations and I hope you also can implement and estimate the time and combine with your technical analysis in the markets. Okay, So the last things I want to say thank you and welcome to Sultan Cam and hope you enjoy.